In the Eastern Conference, there has been a power shift. The new top three teams are likely the Boston Celtics, the Knicks, and the Philadelphia 76ers. However, a lot of teams that used to be part of that big three do not like that fact at all. That's including the Bucks GM. And recently, he shaded the Knicks with some comments that he made to the media. We're going to break down exactly what he said and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. The Bucks GM shades the Knicks in some recent comments that he made to the media. It was only a matter of time. When the power shift happened and the Knicks made that trade for Mikal Bridges and became a championship contender, a legit threat in the Eastern Conference, they vaulted themselves up to the top three in the East. And by doing so, some other teams had to fall off. One of those teams happens to be the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the Bucks are still a very good team. I don't underestimate them at all. They still have Giannis. They still have Dame. They still have a couple of key players on that team, and that can make them go all the way to being a top team in the East. But some other teams got better. The Knicks are one of them. Philly is one of them. And Boston, you got to give respect to them because they're the defending champions. So when you put that all together, you can understand why some teams may not be happy with the new big three in the East. And the Bucks GM let that be known in this recent comment that he said to the media with the New York Times. Shout out to New York Basketball on the app X for giving us the following information. This question was asked to the Bucks GM. The Celtics won championship. Sixers traded for Paul George. The Knicks traded for Mikal Bridges. Do you still believe you belong in the conversation among the top teams in the East? The Bucks GM stated the following. Yeah, it's whether those other teams belong in the conversation with us. Before we address the shade thrown the Knicks' way, I can actually understand why this comment was made. If you think about it, the Bucks have been forgotten. They're not even considered a very good team anymore, even though they have great players on their roster. They won a championship only a few years ago, and it's like all of that has been forgotten, and now they're looked at as maybe a mediocre team or a mid-level team. But they have Giannis on that squad and Dame. So clearly, they're upset by that, and they want everybody to know they're still here. We're still in the East, and they consider themselves a top team because of the talent that they have. And even though the Knicks and Philly did make some very good trades, and because of those trades on paper, they are seen as a top team in the East, you have to see how it plays out. And until you see that, you shouldn't classify them with the Bucks or these other teams as a top team. I think that's what the Bucks GM was saying. However, by doing so, they still threw shade at the Knicks. Do not do that. The Knicks got better, and we were a very good team last year while you guys were a good team. You guys were dealing with injuries, coaching changes, and a lot of other issues. But guess what? The Knicks were dealing with a lot of injuries. By all accounts, we should have never been the number 2 seed in the East, but we still got there. By some way, we were able to get there, and we did everything we could to take advantage of that opportunity. And we were this close to getting to the Eastern Conference. And now, after doing that with a hobbled roster, we made the necessary changes that we needed to make. We signed the players that we needed to sign, and we made the trade for the final piece to this team that we needed in Mikal Bridges. You might not want to give us the nod and say we're a top team, but you have to acknowledge what we've done and give us some respect. Those comments by you saying, yeah, I understand what they did. I see what they did. But you know what? Those teams need to be in the conversation with us. They are not, in my point of view. By saying that, you shade and give no credit to what any of these teams did in the offseason, how they got better, the moves that they've made. And the moves they made are clear upgrades. Mikal Bridges, that's a clear upgrade. And I don't like the Philadelphia 76ers, but even I can admit, Paul George over Tobias Harris, that's an upgrade. And it could play out in a lot of different ways for Philadelphia. I don't care what happens with Philly. In all honesty, I hope it all burns to the ground. I'm not a Philly fan. I'm only about the Knicks. It's only orange and blue, and I want this Knicks team to go all the way to the NBA Finals. But we have a couple of teams in front of us, a couple of teams that are going to cause some obstacles for us. The Celtics are one of them. The Philadelphia 76ers are one of them. And even though the Bucks threw us some shade, I'm going to still give them some credit. The Bucks are a good team. They're a team you need to watch, and they're a team you need to defeat in the regular season, because that's going to send a statement to the rest of the league, the entire league, letting them know the Knicks are here, we need to be feared, and we are legitimately a top team in the East. Here's one thing I can agree on. Even though the Knicks are top in the East on paper, they're going to have to prove it. And each and every night, no matter who they're facing, that team's going to know this Knicks team is supposed to be legit. So let's see how legit they are. Let's give them the true test. Let's play them with everything that they have. That's what's going to happen each and every night for this Knicks team, and they're going to have to get used to it. You guys remember with the Warriors, on paper, when they were seen as a dynasty and everybody knew that they were a team to watch, every team, when they were going up against them, got up against them, went against them with everything that they could, because they knew if they beat the Warriors, they were making a statement. Now the Knicks, with their roster, if another team beats them, they're going to feel the exact same way. This is where we are. This is what team the Knicks have at this point in time. This is how good our roster is. If another team beats us in the regular season, that team will take it as a major win. But if we win, it'll just be, well, the Knicks are handling business, because that's where we are right now. We're seen as one of those teams, a top team, a major threat to get to the NBA Finals. Everybody knows it. New York knows it. And you know what? Given these comments from the Bucks GM, I think it's pretty clear. He knows it too. One of the teams to fear in the East is the New York Knicks. Times have changed. No more laughingstock, just contenders. Legit contenders. Not only in the Eastern Conference. I was being generous when I said that. If you look at the entire league, the Knicks are one of the top teams in the NBA right now. And before we end the show today, I want to wish a very happy birthday to Knicks rookie Pacome Dadiet. He is 19 years old today, folks. 19! He has so much room to develop and grow, and I know he's going to do that. Maybe playing significant time for the G League, but I don't mind it. If this kid turns into a very good player, the Knicks are going to look very good because of it in a few years. And in a few years is exactly when I think you're going to see this kid play significant minutes and shine for this team. But until then, keep getting better and enjoy your birthday. 19 years old. He can't even drink yet. He can't even get a beer on his 19th birthday. It doesn't matter. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of fun and enjoy the Paris Olympics like we all are going to do. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.